I used to be a total perfectionist with what I ate. Like, it was all organic or non GMO if it had to not be organic, like, in extenuating circumstances, basically. Like, if my friends and I went to like a gas station and they didn't have anything like non GMO, I just wouldn't eat. Like, if we stopped at like a fast food place, which we didn't often because of me, because of how strict and harsh I was with my rules. Um, I would literally just not eat for as long as it took. Like, that was just how I lived. And I didn't realize at the time that my way of living was contributing to some of the symptoms that I had. I thought I was perfecting everything with how strict I was, like avoiding certain chemicals, and I had these infections that I fought. And then I had other symptoms that I never knew that I had any control of. Like, I was always cold, my hair was getting thinner, it was falling out, and it was just thin in general. Like, I thought I was going to lose all my hair by the time I was older. And then I dealt with these constant infections. I was always sick. And I was also super sensitive to chemicals. Like, if someone had fragrance, I just absolutely hated it and wanted to get out of wherever I was. And then I also was super sensitive to certain foods. Like, I wasn't tolerating things very well. Like, I would get a fast heartbeat at one point when I drank milk, which is like an allergic type or sensitivity type reaction. I also thought that I could never eat gluten. Like, I had symptoms when I ate gluten. And I don't know if I mentioned this because I had to pause it and I can't remember, but I was always cold. So certain seasons were like really uncomfortable for me. And if I could, I was like by the heater in any season other than summer. Eventually, I realized that the best way to actually support detoxification of those things that I was so afraid of and strengthen the body is by feeding yourself as your first priority. And I started to feel so much better. I started to feel warmer than I ever knew that I could feel, like even going outside in the winter. Like, I didn't even need a coat because I was so warm. I just wasn't used to that, like for a short period. Not like I was out there forever without a coat, but it was just like miraculous. I didn't know it was possible, and my body temperature was actually warmer, which is an indicator of your metabolism. Now I'm not super sensitive to fragrances, not that I'll choose to have them in my home, but if I go to someone's house, I can totally deal with it in their car. Like, it's not like I feel like I'm suffocating, and that's because you're supporting your body when you're eating enough. So I had to break these mental rules because for me, that's what I found I needed to do with where I was at, because I just was so harsh to the point of like literally starving myself. Like, my calorie intake was like 1,200 or less. There were a lot of days that I did not eat like very much at all. And I thought I was doing a good thing because there were a lot of schools of thought back then that it was almost better to not eat. Like, fasting is like a great thing. And I'm not saying it's not beneficial, but like keto, and then like protein, like animal meat was like demonized because it could theoretically be cancerous, is what they said. So it's like nothing felt safe. I always had like my finger on the pulse of like how to optimize your health, but it's like all of these different theories were that you basically just need to avoid everything and be afraid of the world. And I also had like fatigue. I was dealing with different infections, like I said. And it was amazing when I started eating enough. I felt so much less reliant on certain supplements. Like, I took HCl, hydrochloric acid, to digest food because I just didn't digest food. I had acid reflux, and it was amazing. Like, now I never need that. I never feel like I have an issue digesting, and I have regular digestion as well. And my skin became a lot softer. My hair became way thicker. Like, when I noticed one time, like when I was putting my hair in a ponytail, like how much thicker it was. It was incredible.